the Booktube Newbie Tag. Um, I'm just new. I won't say I'm new anyway, but I think it's nice to make this tag. So thank you so much for joining me and to my channel. My name is Peter Okonkwo. I'm a Nigerian residing in Nigeria. Well, I've seen this tag very popular in the YouTube society, and I think it's a sort of an introduction. Like, it's a kind of a compulsory tag for you to make in order for you to get known out there. Like, it's a sort of like a signing that, okay, you're starting up a YouTube channel, a book channel, that I think you need to make this tag so that people can get to know that, oh, there's a booktuber over there making a video and we've not heard about. So I think it's very necessary for me to make the tag. I've had a lot of reviews ongoing already, but I thought I've seen a lot of people make this tag. I've seen a lot of booktubers make the Booktube Newbie Tag, and I thought, oh, it's necessary for me to make the tag. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you if you're new here. My name is Peter, and I'm gonna urge you to please click on the subscribe button over there if you seem to love what I've got rolling here, because I can be boring at times. So I'll be diving into the question, why do you start this channel? I actually never thought of starting up a booktube channel. A idea just came to me and I thought that, okay, since I'm a published author, like I'm an independent published author, then I thought that, okay, I can review books by fellow other indie authors out there. So that's why I started this channel, to review books by independent published author. Though I made a kind of I wouldn't call it a vow. Like, I made a kind of a promise some months past that I'm gonna be reviewing occasionally. Like, I'm gonna be reviewing books by some famous authors, because I'm a lover of philosophy. I love books by Ryan Holiday. Like Carolus, I haven't read anything from him anyway, and some other popular authors. So I started this channel in order to review books by independent published authors. Like, that's why I said I can be boring at times, because most of the content I talk about might be weird to some people and be like, what's it talking about? I don't know what it's talking about. Except if you've read any of the books that I've reviewed so far. But most of the books that I talk about on this channel are books by independent published author. And, I just started this channel in order to review books by independent published author. Mostly, like 90% of the books that I review on this channel are books by indie authors. So the second question is, what are the unique things that you bring in on BookTube? Well, a lot of people have different unique things that they're coming up with, but I would love to say that my unique thing that I'm bringing on BookTube is author interview, like interviewing authors and having a kind of conversation with them and asking them what prompted their books. Those are the unique things I plan bringing on YouTube. I plan bringing in, author interviews and all of that, and sometimes I'd also love to invite fellow booktubers on the show so we can have a kind of a nice conversation. I think that'll be nice, right? That'll be very nice. So what are you most excited for about this channel? Well, I think I'm excited because the channel is going to be reviewing books by indie authors, and I'm excited because I'm going to be reading books in all genres of literature. Like, that's why I have the name of the channel at P English Literature. I'm a lover of English literature. I just love reading books vastly in different genres of literature. Any genre: history, fantasy, science fiction, poetry. I'm a poet also. Different genres. So I think that would answer my question for what are you most excited about this channel. Then the next question is, why do you love reading? Oh, this is a very fantastic question. I love the question so much. I love reading because there's power in reading. I love reading because there is strength in reading. I love reading because it's a means of development, and there are just lots of good luck in reading. Reading enlarge your cost, it enlarge your knowledge, so it helps you increase on different aspects, educational wise, intellectual wise, financial wise, because books are oceans of wealth. They are oceans of information, and I just love reading because it's part of me. And reading changed my life. Yeah, I need to mention that point, because there are a lot of information conveyed in reading. There are a lot of fantastic things, and there are solutions in books. So that's why I love reading. So the next question is, what book or series got you into reading? I'm not sure I have an answer to this question. I can't really point out a particular book or series that got me into reading. Well, I'm a lover of vampire novels, like the adventure. Oh, so I love such kind of vampire. And there's a book that actually, improved my taste for fantasy. That's Doxed After Dead Manner of the Maid by Gregory J. Ramsell. Well, like I said, that's an indie author book. So that's the book that actually got me into reading. Though I've read Things Fall Apart too by Chinua Achebe, and I so much love it. It also, and I read it back then in school, and it's one of those things that actually pulls me into reading. What challenge do you think would be the hardest to overcome? Wow, there are a lot of challenge here on BookTube. There are a lot of challenge when it comes to reading. Sometimes I fall into sleep while reading. I don't know if that's a challenge anyway. Another challenge is, you putting up a lot of time editing your videos. Oh God, that's a lot of challenge. In terms of time constraint, yeah, I think I need to mention that time constraint, because sometimes you want to read a book and something come up and you have to drop it. So that might be a challenge. Time constraint and the available time for you to read a book, film a review, edit it, publish it, and those are just time consuming. And thank God for the BookTube Society. You have people waiting for your video to come up. So I think that a little bit makes it less daunting. The next question is, when did you start reading? I remember I started reading back then when I was in high school. High school. And the first of what I actually read, and I knew that I read the book, was Gerald's Play by the Professor Wole Soyinka. So that was actually when I started reading. And from there, I've been developing likeness for reading, even though at some point it got skipped off, like I stopped. Then it come back again when I started writing my first novel in 2019. And from there, I started reading more books, reviewing books also. So that's when I can say that I particularly, apart from the initial stage when I was much younger, to recent 2019, that's when I can say that I started reading. Now the next question is, what kind of book do you love to read? I love history, I love philosophy, I love fantasy, I love science fiction, I love poetry, I love autobiography, very good. I love memoirs, I love biographies, I love, I'm a literature man. Like, I love everything about literature. I love everything about literature, but there's some books that I love more than the other. I also love crime fictions and non-fictions. I love history, I love books generally. As much as I'm gonna learn something from it. Then the next question is, where do you read? Well, I read in my room, and sometimes I read if I'm in the library. I read on my bed, though sometimes I often fell asleep. Anywhere that's quiet, I read, because I just love reading. And whenever I'm going anywhere, I make sure that I put probably a novel in my bag. And if I get stuck on the way, or there's a traffic in somewhere, or I'm traveling, I can just bring up something and start reading. So that's my Booktube Newbie Tag. I discovered that this is the kind of tag that you need to do if you're coming on Booktube. And thank you so much for watching to this point. Like I said earlier on, my name is Peter, a Nigerian currently residing in Nigeria. And most of the books that I'm going to talk about here is going to be from independent published author, though there are some times I'm going to dive into popular books so that it can bring in some sort of engagement from people who has read it. So thank you very much for watching. If you're new, please do click on the subscribe button over there. I'll so much appreciate it. And please leave me a comment in the comment section. If you leave me a comment, I'll always make my best to reply your comment and also check your video out. In that way, I'll be able to engage with your video, so I'm able to know you more better, and we just get rolling. So thank you very much. This is Peter. Cheers, and see you in my next video. Goodbye.